Never insist. You tell somebody, please take a cup of tea. No, I don't want. Thank God. Relax. नहीं, थोड़ा ले लो, आधा कप ले लो. Why insist? And we call it as love. I am a victim of that love. See? And see the boldness of these ammas. This is Swamiji, this is the dish for the first time I have cooked for you. That means I am a guinea pig. See? How much can you suffer in life? You know? And they will go on insisting, take like that, you know. And then if you don't take, they feel bad. So who is responsible for that? Therefore, never insist for anything in life. The same thing we do with the God. So God becomes miserable. All the time, Ram, 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 Ram. He says, yes, what do you want? But we are not listening to him. We are busy in our nagging. Ram, 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 Ram. And that is why, Ram is the only God who suffers maximum. Because everybody chants his name. See? And therefore, Bhagavan Ram has Hanumanji next to him. So when somebody is torturing him too much, Ram, 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 Bhagavan says, Hanumanji, chew. And you get all the problems of life. Don't trouble God. But then should we take Bhagavan Krishna's name? Bhagavan Krishna is the best one. You know how? He doesn't have to keep the bow and arrow and Hanumanji. Why? You go on talking, he doesn't listen to you. He's enjoying himself. And therefore he doesn't suffer. See? Therefore, let us understand, we should not be insisting on anything. So to that man, when I said, please join for lunch, no, I won't take. I said, very good. I started eating. Now, instead of giving achar, papad, mirchi, masala, he started giving me complaint against his son. Swamiji, when we were back home in Bombay, when my father used to come to my room, I used to run into other room out of respect and fear for my father. Yes. Now, when my son comes in my room, I run out of my room out of fear and danger, not respect. What is my life? I am fed up. I said, you yourself explained. Your life is for running. Run or run. First because of the father, now because of the son. So fulfill your life in only running non-stop. See, friends, don't have this any kind of expectation from anybody in the world. Write off your rights on everything and everybody in this world, or else they will perform your rights right away when you are alive. See, friends, no rights. Life becomes very simple and very happy. So when we learn this principle, that whenever we are in the absolute present, we are happy. But what we do, the old people, now if the son is like that, so whatever best you can do and relax. But we don't do that. We go in the past. When we were young, our parents were like that, we were like that. One couple asked me this question. Swamiji, when we were children, we were not like our children, We are so disciplined, so nice. And why our children are like this thing? I said, because we were lucky to have good, intelligent parents. Tubelight lag gaya. But our children are most unfortunate. They have got dumb parents and therefore they are like this. Don't go back in your past if you want to lead a happy life. But then you are telling the examples of the past. What about that? See, Panchadashi, question is raised. Now understand this. Whenever you have learned from your past experience, you do not create any impression on your mind. See, learning leads to wisdom. Reactions lead to dents and damage on our mind in the form of likes and dislikes. See? So this person, he was disliking the way his son was behaving. So what was his expectation? Like, I was running after my father used to come in my room, he should also start running. Then he should produce Milkha Singh. He will keep on running without reason. See, friends. Therefore, we have to be very clear about this. To be happy is to be in the utter present. Don't bring your dead past. And if from the dead past you have learned something, that past experience will not be a burden on your mind. See, this example I gave you earlier also. When during our childhood, sometime we have touched fire and we got burned. So from that experience, we have learned that touching the fire burns the finger. And therefore, thereafter, we do not touch the fire. But do we have likes or dislikes for the fire? We don't have. Because we learned. And after learning that the fire burns, then we have decided how to interact with the fire so that the same problematic aspect of burning is encashed for our benefit. And therefore, a wise person who learns from his own experiences or the experiences of others, he is growing wise with every additional experience. See? And if we keep on growing wise with every additional experience, we shall be naturally happy. See? Instead of that, we start reacting, complaining. See? Once I was going to Uganda, and there was one girl who wanted to come with me. So I said, hey, you get your passport done. So she said, Swamiji, I don't know. I said, okay, I'll let you know. And there was one gentleman, Swamiji, I'll help her, don't worry. I'll take care of her. I said, okay. And then he told her, come on Monday. She went. Oh, I have forgotten. Come next Monday. Oh, I had told that person, but he hasn't brought. 2, 3, 4 times, he did nothing. So she came, poor young girl, hardly 20 so. She came crying, Swamiji, that man is so bad, he has not done and he's simply making me dance here and there and I'm so frustrated. As first of all, remember, don't be miserable. First principle. When you are disturbed and miserable and dejected, you are destructive. Only a happy person is constructive. See, this is a basic principle of life. And therefore we have to maintain our level of happiness. Never do anything without happiness, never talk anything without happiness, and never think if you are not happy. Arjuna thought when he was miserable. What was the conclusion of his thinking? Negativity, frustration, depression, dejection, withdrawal, and then self-pity. See? So I told that girl, I said, look here, first of all, refuse to be miserable. Don't. This is what is the definition of yoga given by Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan says, Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sanjitam sa nishchena yoktavyaha yogaha anirvidna chetasa. When the miseries come in our life, we have an option to be miserable or not to be miserable. See? Like, when we go through immigration, we get those forms, is it not? The most dumb form is that of USA. They will be having 20, call these questions there. Are you a member of active terrorist organization? Yes, no. Are some criminal proceedings standing against you? Yes, no. See. Are you carrying dead animals with you? Yes, no. Everything is there. In the same manner, when we came in this world, when we were pushed through the immigration, that time we were given a form. And it was written in that form, Anityam Sukham Lokam. You are entering the world which is an abode of misery and nothing else. Question. Do you want to be miserable? Options. Yes, no. Those who tick mark yes, they are miserable. And those who are tick mark no, even God cannot make them miserable. See, friends, yoga is not twisting the body. Yoga is straightening the mind. And this is the simplest way. Refuse to be miserable under any condition. And when we refuse to be miserable, how do we practice this thing? When anybody does a mistake, don't take a revenge. Suppose somebody asks you, how are you? Please sit down. And then start. See, Swamiji, in the morning when I got up, the moment I put my foot on the ground, on the floor, there was such a twist in my ankle and the pain started coming upwards through the calf muscles and my knee got caught up, and I tell you, and it is such a lively description that while listening you start getting pain in yourself. See? Never talk about your miseries. Never talk. See? It's a very simple thing. One lady rather, she is in US. I call her born sweet. She is very sweet. Why? Because she is having diabetes from birth. So I call her born sweet. Full of life and lot of problems, but she is full of life. So she says, Swamiji, I follow your principles. But I said, you have got so many problems. I learned from one experience. When I got married and we went to USA, and for the first time I was in that country, and when I was going through the toll, there they ask a casual question, hey, how are you? You don't have to reply that question, She said, I didn't know that. So when she asked me, how are you? I switched off the engine and started, look here, I came from India and that too from Tamil Nadu, and Chennai. And in Chennai, and she said, I started giving all the details about myself. And behind me, 100 cars. So that lady in that the booth said, come on, okay, go ahead. No, I cannot go ahead. I have to tell you the whole story. See, friends, never talk about your miseries to anybody, number one. See? Then your miseries will become diluted and die away. When we talk about our miseries, our past, it is something like after pruning, we start watering and manuring the plants. And again, the new leaves start coming and a bonsai is born. We never grow. We remain the same useless existence. See? Never talk about your past. See? There are 3 types of people. Those who are third-class people, they talk about the third person. See? In grammar, there are 3 persons. First person, I. Second person, you. Third person, he, she, it, they. See? So a third-class person always talks to the second person about the third person. They are third class. The second kind of people are those who are first class fools. They all the time talk about themselves. I am like that, I have done, the other person is not interested, yet we keep on talking, you know. Jab hum jawan the. Okay. All the time the same thing, you know. And the best part, in the old days, we don't remember what we have told whom. And we repeat it again and again, you know, ad nauseam, continuous, same thing. In one Punjabi house I used to go in Delhi, that old lady, and old age, you know, nobody wants to talk to them, nobody wants to listen to them, and we are meant only for that, so we went. So when I went, she started, Swamiji, very good you have come, I wanted to talk to you. I think you have heard my, you know, pukar and you have come. So it was actually not a pukar, it was a mistake. So I went. And then she started, you know, my, you know, right knee was becoming painful, but now the left also is competing with this thing. And she started. Her grandson, he called me. I said, Mama, excuse me, your grandson is calling, I'll come back. And he said, Swamiji, how can you listen to the same thing again and again? I said, what should I do? Put a plug in your grandmother's mouth? What do you do? Oh, our technique is very simple. When Mama starts talking, we show her fingers. Grandma, you told this 3 times already. So she keeps quiet. Oh, that's a wonderful technique. When I went, Swamiji, what I was telling you I have forgotten. Never mind, I'll start again. Arey, ye Ramayana hai kya? Again start. And when she started again, then I said, Mama, you told me 25 times. How many times will you tell? See? Never talk about your miseries to anybody. Never talk about your success or achievements to anybody. Those who all the time talk about themselves, first person singular, they are first class fools. See? Now, the third kind of people. They talk about the person who is in front of them. Neither they are talking about the third person, nor they are talking about the first person. They give value and importance to a person who is in front of them. That is the reason why we like Mahatmas. Because they don't talk about themselves. They don't talk about others. They have to talk about, how are you? How is your wife? Which is this, first or second? See? And therefore, we feel honored, we feel recognized. Our presence is recognized by the Mahatmas because they don't talk about anything else except us. See? See, such a beautiful thing. And then such people are liked by everybody. If somebody is constantly talking about themselves, one example I tell you, there used to be one friend of mine from Bihar. He was, you know, when he was hardly 10, 12 years, he ran away from home, went to Calcutta. And after having gone to Calcutta, he started as a coolie on a railway platform. And slowly, by his genius, he grew up and became a very big industrialist. Not an ordinary. Steel industry. To such an extent that he represented Indian delegation of industry at the international level. And his English was, mashallah, because he has not studied even 10th standard. But so successful. Like your Dhirubhai. See? And he has 2 sons. But the sons and the daughter-in-laws, children, will never stay with the father and the mother. Staying separately. So when I went for the first time, he told me his story. About 1.5 to 2 hours. Date-wise, this happened, that happened, so many things. Whether the other person is interested to listen to us or not, we are not concerned because we are inspired by our dead past. And then, second day I went to his children's house, we had food and all that. Very nice boys, young boys, very creative, dynamic, wives, good, grandchildren, good, everything fine. Then again when I came, Swamiji, that day I told you about me, my life, this portion particularly I forgot. And again he started one chapter with me. He said, I am thinking of writing a book about my autobiography. But one only problem I have, my problem is, why my sons do not stay with me? What is the reason? I don't know what is wrong, but they just don't want to stay with me. I said, look here, below a huge banyan tree, no other sapling can grow. I said, your personality is so overpowering that you don't allow anybody to grow. All the time you are talking about yourself, yourself, yourself. Whatever great you may be, your greatness should be appreciated by others, not by yourself. See, friends, others should call us, you are great, but we are self-sufficient. I am great. See, friends, therefore, to be in the present, be very attentive, is to be happy. And to be in the present, we neither have to talk about our past, nor we have to talk about the third person. In the present, who is in front of us? Talk to him about his life or her life. See, life becomes very simple. The other day I was somewhere and I was reading newspaper. And there was one old traditional spiritual man in that house. He said, Swamiji, I hope you don't mind. I said, no, I have no mind. Mahatmas normally don't read newspapers. They read Bhagavad, Ramayana, etc. How come you are reading newspaper? I said, it is your fault. You call me Mahatma. I am C.H. Atma. Chota Atma. It is your fault. It's not my fault. I am not a Mahatma. No, it's not like that. That is what I said. People don't appreciate Mahatmas reading newspaper, watching TV. I said, it is their problem. It is not my problem. And because you are elder than me, I will tell you. What you have learned from my lectures, tell me in one sentence. He said, I like one point from your lecture, thank God. And what is that point? We should live in the utter present. I said, very good. You see this paper, which date it is? It is today's paper. So I am living in utter present. Ramayana is old. Mahabharata is maha-old. See, therefore I am living. Whatever I am talking, that alone I am living. See, friends, when you start thus living in the present, you have no burden on your mind. See? Some place, old couple, husband and wife. It is a great joy to see the old couple contradicting each other on every sentence. It's a great joy. So, I went to Shimla and this old couple came to meet me. Swamiji, how do you like Shimla? I said, I like good. It's very nice, cool atmosphere, not too much of pollution, etc. Swamiji, we also like Shimla. I remember the husband started. Old thing. I remember when we got married on 28th of February 1922, that time, the first time I came to Shimla. Wife says, 28th February 1922. We were not married. No, we were married. No, it was 32. No, it was 22. Then you must have married someone else, not me. Now, I am neither interested in Shimla nor in 22, but these two people engaged. See? And best part is both of them forget. अच्छा हम क्या कह रहे थे? Because in that fighting, I said you were telling about whether we should prepare kachori or samosa along with tea. Acha, acha, acha. This is how you can protect yourself. See? And once you become conscious of this principle, that the way to happiness is to live in the present. And see the beauty. Do we have a choice? We have to live only in the present. Our condition is like a husband who is married to two wives. One is pulling him by the left hand, other is pulling him by the right hand, and he is like a churning rod. In the same manner, our mind, the past is pulling in one direction, the future is pulling another direction, and as a result, in the present, we are agitated, disturbed, frustrated, and never available to ourselves, which is the source of all happiness. See, friends, we have trained ourselves to be tense all the time because we have learned to live only in the tensions. How we live in the tensions? Either we are lost in the past tense, or we are worried about the future tense. So those who are living in tenses, how they can live without tensions? Now when you drop the past tense, you drop the future tense, then there cannot be a present tense. Then what is there? There is only presence and not present tense. The presence is all bliss. See? This we don't have to see in books. Only analyze your every experience. Very simple. See, in a school, the teacher taught and said, today I want to see how intelligent you are. I am going to tell only once, not twice, and then ask you how much you are able to comprehend in one go. Then she started telling. This is a small finger, a ring finger, middle finger, then this is the index finger, this is the thumb, this is palm, this is wrist, this is elbow, this is shoulder. Over? Yes. You repeat. This is shoulder. No, wrong. So everybody tried something or the other, wrong, wrong, wrong. And then one cute boy said to you, you tell something. Yes, I can tell. He told perfectly. The small finger, middle, ring finger, middle. Hey, you are a genius. How come? Kidney. He put his hand on the head and said, because of the kidney, not because of the brain. See, friends, whenever you are happy, you are nobody. Please remember. Whenever you are miserable, you are somebody. When you laugh, if you understood a joke, that's a tragedy. One person asked me sometime, Swamiji, do you become miserable? I said, of course. When my joke goes flat. And the person asked, हाँ बाद में क्या हुआ? एक झपड़ लगाए. See? So whenever we are happy, we are nobody. When you really laugh, not going to the laughing club, that's a dumb thing, you know. Whole life they have never laughed in their life. In the old age, somebody told you should laugh. In the house before everybody, they are afraid of laughing. Therefore, they go and create noise pollution outside. Like yesterday I told you, most of them, they go who laugh there, they are the patients of the dentist. And when they laugh, phadafat it comes out. Dentures come out and catch hold. See, that is not the way of happiness. When you are happy, you are in the present. No more past is pulling you. No more future is creating tensions for you. And whenever you are in the utter present, you are at your best. Whatever you do. See, in one of my talk, if you have heard, or there is a booklet also, how to face examinations tension free. This talk I gave to 11th or 12th standard student in Bombay many years before. They made it into a booklet. There, this is the point I brought out. If you are not able to understand what you are reading, throw the books and go to sleep. And when you wake up from your sleep, for let us say 2 hours you are sleeping. So for 2 hours you are practicing remaining as nobody. And when you practice for 2 hours remaining as nobody, you have extended your present tense for 2 hours, and thereby you are nearer to your own blissful self. And when you wake up, then that time start studying. Immediately, what you could not understand for 2 hours, you will understand in one go. Give it a try. Why we don't understand things? Because we are not in the present. See, this is one of the things I do every day. When I am doing my book editing, sometime, when I am doing, I had taken food or something or the other, and if the letters on the screen start, floating here and there, immediately I put him to sleep and I also go to sleep. It doesn't matter what time it is. What people will say, kuch to log kahenge, don't bother about the world, I tell you. And thus remain fresh. Whenever you are fresh, you are in the present. See? And therefore Bhagavan says right in the beginning of the 3rd chapter, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarmakrut. We cannot remain without activity. Now the question is, if we have to be active in life, let us analyze. Can we act yesterday? We cannot. Can we act tomorrow? We cannot. We have to act only today. Now be attentive. When we have to act only today, and while acting today, if past and the future is brought into present, what will happen? The failures of the past and the load of the regrets will influence your performance in the present. Second thing, worries about the future is nothing but trying to solve the non-existing problems. Suppose this happens. I was going to Badrinath and there was one NRI doctor, she came. Swamiji, you have to sit with me and explain me everything. I came all the way from Chicago. Okay, come. So I normally sit on the last seat. I never like to sit in the front. So I was sitting. I will say, okay, sit down. So 2 by 2 buses, seats. So I want to sit near the window. I said, you can sit outside the window, I have no problem. And tell me everything. So I started. See, this is a tree. See, this is a stone. See, this is the sky. This is, the water. One of the Pancha Mahabhut, like that. Swamiji, you are making fool of me. I said, no, I don't have to. You are self-sufficient. And thus we continued. And when the bus went up, the deep valley started. Swamiji, can I change my seat? I said, yes, you can change. I sat that side. Swamiji, yes. Suppose our bus goes down. So I did not reply. Again, Swamiji, see, this fellow is driving so fast. Suppose our bus goes down. Again I didn't reply. She got married. Swamiji, I am talking to you. Suppose our bus goes down, then I said, then there won't be any reason to talk. First let it go and then we'll see. Normally worries are We only project the problems and then we only start solving it. See, those of you who have gone to other countries, most of you must have gone, and when you go through the immigration, and suppose there is one of the immigration officer, he had a fight with one of the passenger, and then the police is called and he is taken, and the whole atmosphere in that hall is tense, and then you are standing praying to the Lord, oh Lord, I hope this fellow is not my, I should go to other person, this fellow looks, and suppose he asks me like this, I'll tell him like this, and by the time you keep on solving the non-existing problem, you go to him, he even doesn't look at you, go.